What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Backliners podcast. It's Aggro and BaRRaCCuDDa as per usual. Barry, we are back.
It feels weird.
I know. It feels like we haven't done a show in so long, but that's because we did one show this year, and it was with Mike as a guest, and we were talking so much about Worlds, and we haven't just had a show with just you and me hanging out.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. Who needs
that's
guests?
what we need.
You know what I mean? Who needs those?
Who needs other world champions? Like,
come on.
We have us.
We have us.
Come on. That's all the world champions we need.
Apologies to headphone users. You definitely just blew their eardrums out. That was on me, though, because
I did? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
No, you know. Oh. I was taking responsibility, Barry. It was my fault.
Oh, okay. No, it's my fault.
Okay. Don't let it happen again.
All right.
I was telling Barry right before we went live, we've been saying it for a long time. These podcasts are going to get shorter again. They will actually have to be shorter now because my son, Calvin, continually woke up in his crib, which is in our bedroom. It's like not right next to our bed, but pretty close. And last week we started putting him in here, my office. You can actually, if I lean back for the podcast users, or the watchers, you can see his little pack and play back there. That's where he has been sleeping.
Aww.
And he slept much better in here. So he's sleeping right now in our bedroom in his crib. I've got a feeling that it's not going to go very well. And that he will need to be back in here. So that means it cannot be another 2-hour. Do you realize our last episode was 2 hours long?
I kind of expected that. It's like the post-Worlds.
And it's Mike. Like, he's always...
Yeah, and it's Mike.
I know.
I'm surprised it wasn't 3 hours.
It could have been.
Like,
if he wasn't sick,
Mike,
if we weren't sick, Mike and I were both sick. So it was going to be shorter than usual for sure. So yeah, it's actually going to have to be a little bit shorter. So let's get right into it. Since we had a podcast with just the two of us, we announced this silly little thing called Smite 2. Smite 2 got announced. I said at the end of last episode.
And I'm working on it.
And that is not true at all.
Okay.
Because people will think that you're telling the truth. I should clarify. Well, or if you are, you aren't in any playtests. Like, you are, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to step it up. Yeah, so crazy that we can talk about Smite 2 as a thing now. Smite 2 has been in development for, a good amount of time. And is, if you haven't heard, if you've been under a rock, it is, or The Rock, is he married?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I'm Googling it.
It just sounded like a good little thing to slide in there while you're monologuing.
Is The Rock married?
I assume so.
Yeah, he got married in August of 2019 to Lauren Hashian. So if you're Lauren Hashian or under a rock, Smite 2 is now a thing. It is a sequel to Smite. It is on Unreal Engine 5. For context, Smite 1 is built on Unreal Engine 3, which is quite old in the realm of engines and video games and all that kind of stuff. It is a massive upgrade to go to Unreal Engine 5. There are so many things that have been so difficult for us to do on Smite 1 that will be significantly easier for us to do on Smite 2 that I am very excited about.
Default sound pack?
That's still in discussion.
It's so much easier. It's so much easier.
I said a lot of things, Barry. I said a lot of things, like...
Well, I'm working on it, so I'll make sure it gets done.
Okay, well, yeah, you better... No wonder you've been hiding out, because that,
my number one priority.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Barry, have you, I know that we let some content creators and Olympians and all that kind of stuff, playtest Smite 2 at Worlds. Did you get a chance to, watch any of that footage? Have you checked any of it out?
No, I haven't. I saw about 30 seconds of the Smite 2 announcement trailer, but outside of that, I haven't. I've been kind of keeping it I guess like hidden from myself until the podcast, or like trying to keep it hidden from myself.
Sure.
Because I don't know, it's funner that way.
Yeah.
It feels like Christmas.
It will. I am trying to do this thing where I don't watch any trailers for anything I know I'm going to like consume.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just feel like trailers these days for games and for movies and for shows, they like give too much away and they rock. So if I'm on the fence about something, I'll watch the trailer because that can influence me. But if I know I'm gonna like, I didn't watch a single trailer for Spider-Man 2, the Insomniac game that came out a little bit ago, because I knew I was playing it. And it was really enjoyable that way. So I can understand not wanting to spoil yourself a whole lot. And alpha for Smite 2 is not too far away. It's in March, I believe, is the targeted month.
Is that this might be too much. Is that like the target month, or is that like the announced month, or is that
I mean,
kind of the up in the air month?
I can tell you this: we are working. I am starting to do some Smite 2 work. I'm still also doing some Smite 1 work, but I'm kind of in between. And
Smite 1.5.
Yeah, that's me.
My jokes are terrible today.
You're on fire, baby. No, keep them coming.
So bad.
For as far as we're working with. Hey, we got to get everything ready to go for Alpha 1 in March.
Cool.
So
nice.
still could change, of course. I assume we'll be releasing details on how to get into that. I know that you can sign up. And like wish list it on Steam and all that kind of stuff, but check out all the stuff on the website, and that'll tell you where to sign up for it and all that kind of stuff.
Surely I don't have to sign up for it, right? Like
I would sign up if I were.
I should.
You're retired. You're
wow.
Washed,
Wow.
No, I'll get you in.
I'm nobody anymore.
Don't you worry,
Goodness.
buddy. We're starting friends and family tests. That we can get you in on there for that. I definitely want to get your feelings on how things are feeling. It is crazy how far the game has come. I can tell you, I could probably pull up, like I recorded some of the really early playtests, and it went, it was like, okay, I see it, but it's got a long way to go from that to, holy crap, this is Smite 2 in like the blink of an eye. And it's not that it was
that's exciting.
Immediately, like, we had multiple playtests, over months where it was like, it's close, but this isn't quite right, or, whatever. And the last time I playtested it was, I think, in November, like mid to late November, and I still felt like there was some room to make up before it truly felt like Smite. And then I didn't get to play test it at all until I was watching people play it at Worlds. And you can, for people like us who have just been around the game for so long, Smite has been my life for 10 years. Just looking at it, I can tell, holy crap, it's Smite. Like, it finally felt like this is Smite on a totally new engine. It feels like a true upgrade. And I will be completely transparent. There was a little bit where I was like, I don't know, guys. Like, it's tough, man. Like, I see a lot of the bones, but I don't know if we can get it to really feel like Smite does. But I couldn't believe how far they got from November to the Worlds build in January, to where it's freaking Smite on Unreal 5. And it's like so crazy to me that's like we always joked, like, internally, just like everyone else would, about, we'll just engine upgrade Smite, and Smite 2, like, we'd be like, oh, that's a problem for Smite 2, like, we were saying that in Season 5, you know what I mean? Just, like, joking around. And it's crazy to think that it's, like, coming.
Finally here?
Yeah, it's, like, almost here.
So, are the gods that are being released on Smite 2... the ones that are being released soon, are they going to have new kits or the same kits, or like slightly upgraded, downgraded?
So I know
like
I messed up, man. We're doing these dev insights, Smite 2 developer deep dives that we're posting on the Smite game website and on the on the YouTube
I
and all
see
that
that,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. And there's one about the gods, and I didn't watch this video, which I really should have, because this is literally what I'm doing. And, well, it's just like, so like I know the plan, but I don't know what everyone else knows about the plan. And if it wasn't said in this video, I imagine I shouldn't be the one to say it. So I really briefed you all by not watching it. But I'm a dad, like hop off. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I want to do.
You got dad things to do.
I'm taking my kid to swim lessons on the weekends. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
Yeah. It is. He loves it. It's like his favorite thing on earth. Like, he gets in the water and he just splashes around, and he's like, I'll show you a video. Like, he's like actually like doggy paddling kind of automatically.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, can he walk?
No.
He can doggy paddle and he can't walk?
Yeah. Well, I can't let him go. I haven't let him go in the water to see if he's gonna do it.
Okay. Just give him a push.
I mean, I could. He'd be fine. I'm right there. Like, if he starts to sink, I'd grab him. When I dunk him in the water, he thinks it's like the funniest thing on earth. So like, he doesn't care.
Oh, that's cute.
The swim teacher came up to, was like doing little check-ins with all the parents, and she came up and she was like, yeah, it seems like he doesn't really care. Like, he doesn't mind any of this. Like, other kids are like crying as soon as they get dunked and all that kind of stuff, and he's just like vibing the whole time. So she's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, just like keep it up, I guess, because he's loving it. So yeah. Anyways, I forget how I started on that. But yeah, I don't have to watch this video. I think
I'm trying to, like, skip
I
through
can
it.
safely say that
gods... You don't have to.
No. I want to.
Okay.
Gods are going to remain. They are not going to get full identity changes. You're not going to see, on her as all of a sudden a stim crit hunter. You know what I mean? But we do also recognize that people have been playing on her for 10 years, and that just playing on her, the exact same on her, who looks exactly the same, or who feels exactly the same but just looks better, isn't quite as exciting as playing on her with a new addition. Like, I can give you the on her example because it was in the trailer. The final hit of on her's ult does it. He like throws, I think it's like 4 spears, like he does right now, where it's really quick, except he's doing it with both hands. And then he rears back, and the final hit does way more damage than any of the other individual spears.
And it looks like it's wider too.
I think it might be. Yeah, I think it is a little bit wider. And that like it's those types of little changes that I think are going to really make it feel like a true sequel. And that these will every god get that amount of change even? I'm not sure what I can commit to saying. But that's the type of change that you could expect to see across a lot of different gods. Seafog says in chat, Ymir's wall now gives him a little jump and a boost forward. Whenever you pull it up, and that also works on enemies when you pop the wall. If it's right behind them, they'll get knocked towards you. I played my first Ymir game today, actually, in the Smite 2 playtest. Holy crap, that guy is awesome. Like, I was imagine mobile Ymir, because that's how I felt. Like, I was just getting in there, like, blinking in myself with the wall being my blink. I was, getting in there and then using the wall to disengage. Like, I was having so much fun. And he felt, I think he's super OP, to be honest with you. I think adding another CC to Ymir's kit is crazy. But those are the types of things that, for me, and this is what my feedback for the Smite 2 team since day one of us talking about what gods would be like in Smite 2, I think what got me to play Smite in the first place was that I was a huge mythology nerd, and I thought, I can't wait to see what they did with Poseidon. Like, well, how did they take Poseidon's stories and interpret them into what he would do in a battle? And, learning about all these different gods, and, the items can be as cool as you want. The map can be great. All these systems can be great. At the end of the day, I played Smite and continue to play Smite for how the characters feel and how they play. and making sure, like, you know, I feel like I have gotten as close to my peak as I can with Zeus in Smite 1. I don't feel like I need to learn. The amount of learning I'm going to do with Smite 1 Zeus, minuscule, you know? It's going to take another 100 games for me to learn one thing that I think I should do differently consistently. With a kit that has even the slightest bit of change, I feel like it's going to re-motivate me for just like remastering these characters. And that's the thing that's most exciting to me.
So you're changing Zeus, is what you leaked.
I mean, doesn't he deserve it? Doesn't he deserve
the
to
aggro
be
change?
Crazy OP? Doesn't he deserve that? Don't I deserve it? Don't I deserve to have my god? Dude, there was literally there was actually a Reddit thread like today about what gods would you like to see reworked in Smite 2, and someone said Zeus, which I was a little bit surprised about.
Was it you?
Nope. And so someone else was responding like, "Oh, it would be nice to have Zeus not get a change like every other patch, like he had, you know, Hi-Rez's favorite god, like getting changes all the time." I feel like we almost never touch that god, and that he has not been meta for so long. He got one change this last year, I think, like literally one.
Yeah, I mean, my memory isn't great, but I don't remember Zeus getting a lot of changes.
I'm looking up on the wiki what. Now I'm getting petty, but you know, I already looked if The Rock was married, so like this is more topical than that.
Wait, is the wiki still updated? Or like updated?
Yeah. He literally got one change in year 10 according to the wiki, which is usually correct. So take that, Reddit commenter. Yeah, I think you know, we also announced that there will be new Smite 2 only gods. And I can tell you that they're doing some pretty crazy stuff with that that I think is going to be very cool. I hope we are able to, you know, bring people's favorite gods over quickly, but that is a difficult. It's not copy paste. We're literally rebuilding everything about a god from the ground up. We're not porting anything really. So it is, you know, it's less work than a brand new Smite 2 specific god, because, you know, we have a very solid base to work off of, but it's still pretty significant work. So I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to keep the pace high on those and keep pumping them out, and that they'll feel cool and interesting. Man, there's so much I want to talk about that I can't, and this is still so much more than I have been able to talk about historically with it.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like the iceberg is now like showing,
bro, so much. I just want to know, like, I just want to tell people everything and like get feedback, and like, you know, it's so much fun.
Yeah, just do it.
There's nothing more fun to me than coming up with how could we improve this god, you know, like we did with like Anhur and Ymir. Like, that is the most fun thing in the world as far as I'm concerned.
Hachi should be able to dash off of his horse. There you go.
Yeah, you can't think of anything more exciting than that, BaRRa. You got nothing else.
It's such a clean combo.
You're not giving me
so
Hachi
good.
needs a real passive. You're not even giving me that.
His passive's OP.
Oh yeah, since we added the attack speed, I forgot, because we thought
even before
he needs an attack. He needs a real passive. That passive was not doing much, you know.
Bro, it was OP.
Well, yeah, it's OP to have infinite mana. No, it's OP to have infinite mana for sure. But is it like fun and exciting? Probably not.
I was having a lot of fun and excitement while I was chewing on cooldown.
Right, and you kept doing it.
I mean, it might not be the best passive in the game, but you know, his abilities aren't the most impactful.
Why is it now? Chat's coming at me about this. What are you talking about? Hachiman passive was like we could have basically just said he's a manaless god and he had no passive, right? Before we added the attack speed.
You saying it that way makes it a lot less fun.
Right.
So it was fun. I liked it. MP5 is fun.
Okay.
You could go Cowl and be greedy. You go Cowl Devo Gloves and still have infinite mana on the old passive. I don't think you can anymore. But on the old passive, it was fun to like keep it up. Like you had to make sure that you were hitting creeps before the timer ran out, and that
Yeah.
was a fun little mini game.
Yeah.
And then I would 2 someone on cooldown.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, exactly. He's not manaless.
Well, maybe in Smite 2 he should be manaless. You know, maybe he could be a manaless hunter.
No. Okay, that would be fun. As long as he got a little bit of spice.
Well, yeah, yes, that's the point. Is that they're all hopefully getting a little bit of spice. You know, like
what about if you hit every single Hachi one, it like stunned them? Would that be OP?
I think a better way to do it would probably be like if you hit an enemy god with a Hachi one, it doesn't consume, or you get another shot back. So
that'd be OP.
So you can keep chaining them. The stun doesn't.
That'd be fun.
Doesn't really like thematically make any sense. I feel like.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. That's part.
Makes sense. It's my first time.
It's part of the brainstorming process. Is you're gonna part of brainstorming is having bad ideas. That's okay. I have it. I exclusively stay in the bad idea realm. That's where I actually live. I just got a little defensive. I got a little defensive because you were on my territory. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You were treading on my turf. That's all I'm trying to say.
Look, okay, so, imagine this. Hachiman ults in, dashes off of his horse. If he kills somebody, their head pops off.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's
what? Is that not cool?
No, it's cool.
You could literally like, I can't remember what it's called.
What if we made it so that when you fired Hachi ult, if you left click, then he immediately dashes automatically for free.
Oh.
And if you right click, then he just shoots and stands like he does normally. This is what we're.
Yeah, right click.
Right
clicking doesn't feel great though. Right clicking feels like you're scared.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
I don't want to right click.
Okay.
I want to. Okay. Also, Hachi should not be like shooting blanks. In Smite 2. Like, when you ride your horse...
Come again.
When you ride your horse, and then the shot comes out, and there's no damage, but it makes the animation, and it just like... Whew.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It rides into the sunset,
Yeah, it's a server-client disagreement, yep.
Well, yes.
You're saying a phantom hit, basically, right?
Yeah. Well, no, because it misses. It shoots off into, like... the realm, it shoots off somewhere else. Okay. And that's when you don't click in time. But it's like, I think it might be when you click like as it's ending, like you click too late, but Hachi's still like, just like he drops an arrow out.
Wait, hold on. What's he like? Oh, and that's when he shoots the blank, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, he shoots the blank. He falls off the horse. The arrow goes flying.
Right.
Yeah.
And he goes. Right. Okay, great. We're gonna get you voicing a Hachiman skin in Smite 2 for sure. That is
my voice back was so good.
Jeffrey. Oh my god, that is so funny. Oh man. Okay. All right. Is there any other? Do you have Smite 2 like questions or like thoughts that you want to share before we move on to season 11?
Are all the gods named that are coming out in the initial release for the alpha?
That I do not know. As we said at Worlds, a good hint. So like all of the year 11 skins, this is my understanding. I'm pretty sure I'm right. All of the year 11 skins are cross-gen. All the new skins that are coming out are cross-gen. And if you buy them in Smite 1, then you'll unlock them in Smite 2. If a god has a cross-gen skin in Smite 1, that means that we are either already working on, have completed, or will soon be working on that god in Smite 2. So you can use that as a good indicator of some of the gods that are coming out earlier in Smite 2's cycle.
Just from like my angle, I would assume like the main gods are still going to come out, like Zeus, Thor, Apollo, like I would say like the
very
more
sneaky little
mainstream.
Apollo, like Zeus, Thor, Apollo.
Slid that one in. Apollo.
Make sure, or else. No, I actually, I mean, the team did a lot of data searching on what they felt like was the best order. There's also like some tech stuff, reasons why we might want to be doing a god earlier versus later.
Genius.
I think it has to do with popularity, tech reasons, balancing the roster, all those types of things. So I would not assume that it is going to be like Alpha Gods of Smite 1. It's not going to follow the Smite 1 release calendar. I'll tell you that. Like it's not just going to be all the Alpha Gods. Like that's it. It's going to be kind of based on a lot of different factors, for sure.
We should make Thor's ult global, like truly global.
We talked about that in Smite 1 at one point.
Can you imagine how hard that would be to hit, like across?
Not truly. Okay, not truly global. We talked. No, about
I mean I meant truly global. Like you
it'd
can
be
also
impossible
like
to hit.
fly to do it. It'd be so funny though.
You could do it where it wouldn't feel good. It wouldn't feel good. No, we can't do that, Barry. We can't.
It'd be so funny. It would be so funny. Like he kind of deserves it, I think. I feel like you'd have to like maybe nerf the rest of them, but I feel like Thor being such a big mythology character
should be
deserves,
probably pretty good. Yeah.
Like, what if he ults and like the whole
bit.
sky just turns into like thunderstorms, and there's
cool.
like lightning bouncing around,
Yeah.
and it's like holy crap, like
I
Thor's
like
ulting.
Yeah.
And you could have the same thing for Zeus, and then you have Zeus and Thor in the game. It's just like bang, bang, bang.
Type bonuses. Yeah, exactly.
True sound effects right there.
Yeah, that's what you've been doing is working on sound still, I guess. No, dude, I feel like there was another, I'm just like going at Reddit today, which is never a good idea. I feel like there was another Reddit comment about how Thor has literally always been OP for his whole, like...
What?
There was like a good stretch of like 4 years where that was literally a troll pick. Like you literally could not play that god at a high, like an SPL level.
Yeah, he didn't do enough damage. He didn't like kill people.
Yeah, he literally was like considered the worst competitive god in the game. Were among them for like a multi-year stretch. It wasn't until that we added the component to the ultimate, and then we nerfed that, and then he was unplayable again after that.
I think any time like Osiris and Erlong were super meta, it just shoved Thor right out. Like he could not be played in those picks. You would just get ran over in the early game. You get invaded. Like you had no like fight back against those characters. If they caught your hammer, you were dead. Like you had no pressure. Thor was just dog water for so long. Yeah, like that really that guy is.
He was really OP
crazy.
In Aninster adapting in Garza's hands in the early years of Smite. And then he was absolute trash tier for years, and then he's been good for a good stretch now. I would say, but yeah, I don't know again why I'm being petty to Reddit. Sorry, Reddit. I swear I don't mean it. We both know I do, but
maybe you should get off the Reddit.
Yeah, no. You know, it's like part of my job.
Yeah, it was just a suggestion.
Yeah,
like,
no, I appreciated that. If I were just in the audio department like you are, then I wouldn't have to worry quite as much.
Maybe you should swap over.
Yeah, maybe. I do love our sound department. You've obviously been such a great addition there.
Thank you.
And, like, your lead, shout him out, go ahead.
Who?
The audio team lead, the legendary.
That's me. Yeah, that's me.
No, do not disrespect my man Kellen Malone like that. I won't be standing for it. He's my goat, and I love him, and he's great. I don't know why I just put you on the spot. That was never going to be a good bit.
I didn't know who that was.
No, I know. That's on me.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we said we'd talk about Season 11, but we're already getting close to, like, 40-ish minutes. Yeah, well, Calvin, his bedtime is like 7 o'clock, and he's been sleeping.
Yeah, his re-bedtime.
His re-bedtime, yeah. We might have to be ready for that. And patch notes are coming up soon, but we should... Okay, let's talk a little bit about, like, the Season 11 Conquest map in particular. You said you played a little bit. I've only been able to play in playtests because I have been unable to use my computer at night because my son is sleeping in here. I feel like, by the way, I gotta say, it's like, I know it's good for me, the life changes that I've gone through since Calvin has started sleeping in my office, because I go to bed at like 10:30 every night. I wake up with like a full night's sleep because he's sleeping. I'm not playing like any games that aren't on my PlayStation. I'm playing the new Prince of Persia right now, which is, by the way, an absolute banger. It's so good. But I miss...
dude, Power World.
Dude.
So fun.
Power World, sorry. I did play it a little bit right before he started taking over in here. It's really good. I know it's good for me that I can't access my gaming PC at night, but I really miss being a degenerate. Like, I miss it. Because it's like it's one of the last bastions of my pre-child life, you know, is being a degenerate at night. And I was trying to hold on to it for a little bit, and I know it's ultimately better that I don't do that, but I have not played a single ranked game because I can't play on my PC. And that's sad.
Yeah, I haven't played any ranked because I simply don't want to.
Well, you and I are not the same. I would love to be running down some queues right now.
I would enjoy smurfing, I think, but I wouldn't enjoy playing on my main account.
Oh, I've played like one ranked game on my main in the last year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only play on Smurf. Yeah.
It's just so much more fun.
It's so much more fun. There's so much less, like, pressure, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like we're like two people in very privileged positions complaining about how privileged we are, but
it's just different. It's just different.
It's different.
All the peasants, you know, wouldn't understand. You know?
Whoa, okay. You mean our dear and valued listeners is what
exactly.
You mean. Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't understand what it's like to be us, you know, to have to smurf in a video game to not feel scared.
Well, it's not that I feel scared, it's that I want to queue up.
Oh, yeah, okay. Me either.
Well, okay, I'm scared sometimes, for sure.
Okay.
Well, okay, yeah. I can just say, I was like, I think I've told the story on the podcast before, but I was queuing ranked, and I had been doing a little bit of drinking, and I queued up, and I played Hunbat's Jungle, and I went to gank solo lane, and when I say a little bit of drinking, I was extremely not sober, and I blinked in to solo, and I missed my whole Hunbat salt. I did not hit a single tick of the Hunbat salt, and my solo laner stops moving and types, "This guy is balancing the game." And he missed a whole Hunbat salt. And he was right.
Was it Hurry?
No. And he was right.
Great.
It would have been great. Like, I couldn't even be mad at him. And that was like, I have to like try hard if I'm playing on my main ever again, because that is like, I can't be doing that to me, to like the company. Like, it's just not a good look. So yeah, that was the last time I queued up my main when I wasn't like actually trying. But that's what I mean. Like, sometimes I just want to like, I mean, I'm obviously not inting in ranked, but I'm also, it's not a competitive game. Like, it's not, you know, I'm not playing for money. And if the voices are winning and I want to dive in 1v3, I don't want to get judged for it. As a named person, I want to just be able to do it.
I think my thing was, on my main account, I'll only play like the hunters and like a few of the support characters, like half of the support characters, and like a few mages.
Little Xing-Chan, little Ganesh, you know.
Yeah. Half the supports.
Yeah.
I'm getting in there.
Okay.
But on my Smurf, I feel like I can play anything. Like, if I feed or like miss a very easy to hit ability, like there's no second thought like of someone being like, wow, that guy's bad.
Right.
Like, if I Smurf, it's just
you're just another ranked player.
yeah, I'm just this guy that just happens to be missing this ability. But it's also just easier to just practice things. Like if you want to practice some stupid build or some like stupid character build combination, it's just easier to do it on your Smurf.
Mm.
There's just you don't feel as like judged, I guess, or yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, no, I feel that for sure.
You don't feel judged.
Minotaur brings up a really good point. Those gods better be in Smite 2 on release for BaRRa. If we don't have Ganesh Shinsen, you are ruined in support.
I've got more than that. I've got Geb. I've got Sylvanas. I've got a Fafnir now.
No, you do not.
I do. That character is very easy. That character is point and click stun, and then I buff a teammate like that. It's that's a very simple character.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Tell the support
I get
that's point and
rich.
click, by the way.
It is like you see a strafe pattern for like 0.2 seconds, and you throw that thing.
You lost every support main in the world when you said strafe pattern. Their brains shut down. That is not happening. That is not happening.
So as long as you don't make it like as long as you're not the Sobek player that's like lining it, like the max range Sobek pluckers that are just like once they get you like in the line, they instantly pluck.
It's like the targeting system. Like I always think of the like, like
I gotta pluck.
Like here we go.
I gotta go.
Like the Halo loading noise, like when you're loading the map. That's what I always think of. Yeah, that's just where you line up your hammer, for sure. No, I've got a Fafnir. I'm just saying, like, I think every non-support player thinks they have a Fafnir. Like, I think that's, like, a common trope.
It's such an easy character.
He's so fun, too.
He is fun. And you get a lot of dope... Oh, I have an Atlas, too, and an Ardio.
Oh,
I
man.
do not have a Yamoja. My Yamoja is unplayable. Like, I am so bad with that character. I'm, like... silver with that character.
Yeah. Everyone else is too.
I hate Kumbha and Khepri. Those are like the weird support characters.
Nah,
like
bro.
Overly
Khepri
supporty.
is so broken. Aggressive Khepri is the best.
Yeah, but like sometimes if you're like on the back foot with that character, you're like, what am I even doing?
That's
you just
why
feel
you
like
just get blink and you're not on the back foot.
Oh, okay.
Listen to this, Listen to this. Hold on. I have this. This is for. I'm giving the winning strat for everyone. This is coming from the guy who's played 0 rank games so far this year, by the way. You go blink Khepri, okay? And you walk mid, okay? They're probably playing something bad, like, Raw, Poseidon, like Cuckoo. Mm-hmm. Everyone's playing Cuckoo these days, right?
If it's Vin, it's a Hunter, because he has to play Hunter.
He has to. Here's what you do. You blink Khepri 1, the enemy mid laner, okay?
Okay.
They have to beats, right? Or else they die. You agree?
Oh, okay. I don't know what
super
my
long
follow-up is.
It's a super... Well, the mid laner's there, right? Well, I'm not doing it when my mid laner's not there.
I don't think it matters if your mid laner's there. They have to know that you're about to blink, because if they cast a button on like a wave...
I spammed attack, okay? I spammed.
They could be like, oh, I hit the minions.
No, I spammed attack.
Oh, okay,
and gank over and over again.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm actually spam locked. I can't VGS anymore because I've done it so much.
Yeah.
I blink abduct. They have to be.
That's a perfect line, right? Like you're not plucking like sideways.
No,
like,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not wiggling my big bug butt all over the place. Like I'm going straight line. They have to beats or else they die because it's a very long, undr'able CC. Then they beads. All you do is you wait out the beads and then you 3. They're rooted. They die.
Easy as that.
It's
you
so
easy.
Well, I 2 afterwards, but at that point, I can start spam taunting if I want to. It's so... Blink 1 into root is less broken than it used to be because the root is now DR'd. That used to be unbelievably broken, but now it's still very good, and it will get you kills. There you go. That's how you play Khepri, aggressive Khepri.
I have a Bacchus too, and a Cab, by the way.
I saw your cab in the arena you were playing right before the podcast started, and you were, and I mean this with full respect, completely sprinting it.
We started the game at like 7:49, and I was like, okay, guys, we got to run it down this game. Like,
you were
one way or the other.
I was so proud of you.
Dude.
You were absolutely gunning it. It was awesome.
Warflag is so fun on cab because you just press 3 and insta cancel and you get like healed and mana back and you just keep running around, just keep 3 canceling,
You
like
took
cycling your
no less
cooldowns.
than 20 tower shots in Arena that game. Like, no less.
Dude, that
You
Baba
were,
kept running away.
you were in there, and I had infinite respect, so I will agree that you have a cap.
Thank you.
I've seen enough. Okay, just real quick, let's talk about like
Oh
two
yeah.
year 11 things, and then we'll talk about the rest later on. I wanted to get your thoughts on the new ADC item that's taken over the build. It's Crimson Claws. What are your Crimson Claws thoughts?
Is that the one that you get a shield?
Yes, it is kind of reverse Bloodforge, where if you are full HP, any lifesteal that you do converts into a shield that cannot exceed 15% of your max HP.
I mean, on paper, I feel like this item looks crazy OP. I don't know if it's better than Devo gloves, but I feel like this is like all the stats I would ever want on a hunter item.
Yep.
I think barrier to entry might be the cost. I think it's a little expensive for a first item.
Yep.
I can't even remember how much Devo gloves is at this point. I think trans is like 2,600, right?
That sounds expensive to me. I think it's a little bit less than that.
I think Devo's like 24. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's the only barrier to entry for this item.
Yeah, Devour's Gauntlets is 2,400.
you
Crimson Claws, for reference, is 2,550.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that would make me stop or not buy this item is the cost.
Trans is 2,500.
2,500. Oh, I thought it was 26. Did it get buffed one time?
I don't know. I should know. I do somewhere in my brain, but not at 8:50 p.m.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, I think this item on paper looks extremely OP.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if ADC players are currently building it. In my Conquest games, I did not play any ADC games. I only played support. And I did see this item occasionally, but I feel like it looks really good.
Yeah, I think it is quite good. We've talked on this podcast before about how items need to be very strong in order to unseat established items and builds. I think this item is very strong. I think I have seen a lot of people going it first, and I am a little bit surprised by that. Just because of the cost. We had talked about if we wanted it to be a first item, we were obviously kind of fine with whatever. But I thought it might be a replacement to Bloodforge, kind of like your fifth or sixth item, just to give yourself some more survivability in the later stages of the game. But people seem to be going it early more than late because that's where they want their lifesteal. I think it is probably a little inefficient there, but the stats are so good that it's probably fine.
I don't know of a better first item that you would want over Crimson Claws. I don't know if you could go like a crit item first. I mean, you probably would never go like Exy or Dom first. You would never go Kins first, I think, with the way it's currently statted. So it probably it's a bit of...
You could get a little cheeky like Atalantas in there, maybe.
I think that item is just too hard to fit into builds. I think.
Yeah.
I think right when that item got buffed, I saw like Cyclone and a few other hunters building it, which didn't make sense to me. Because I mean, it's obviously good for like flat pin, but I feel like flat pin's really only good against like junglers when they go on you. If your whole job is fighting the jungler, I feel like it's a good item. Or like 1v1ing the other ADC, I feel like it's a good item. But outside of that, I feel like it's just bad.
Yep.
Or like inefficient versus like Kins, crit, pin, or like percent pin.
Right.
I did do a quick stop by Zap stream. This doesn't mean much, but he's going Devos.
Yeah, I think Devos
surprised
are still
me.
quite good.
I feel like on Heim, I feel like Crimson Claw would just be crazy.
Yeah, 50 power does go hard for Heim.
Like having that much power and then getting the attack speed earlier, I feel like that just transitions you really quickly.
Yeah. I do think it's good to have two, like, I think ADC brain has been so locked on one lifesteal item to start the build, no more lifesteal the rest of the build. I do think that stacking this, if you can afford to, with an Aussie or a Devos, does get you to that shield much more efficiently. But then you have to kind of dedicate the rest of your build towards like your pen, basically, because you're giving up 2 slots without any. Devos has the flat.
I think you'd have to go Ornate with that build, because I don't think you'd go Destal or Cowl, since those are kind of doing the same thing as
Right.
Claw and Aussie, so you need, like, a crit item there or a crit starter. You go, like, Gilded, lifesteal in your build, and then, like, Kins, Pin, and crit, maybe? Like, last time Deathbringer or something? Maybe that would work.
You can do the old school, like, I think that it's been very popular to do Exy Chin's 1 crit splash. Like, I feel like Claws could replace that crit splash. And it would make your objective DPS lower, which is obviously the big thing, but it makes your survivability a lot higher. And how often were you statistically critting non-objectives anyways?
Yeah, it just depends on the big, like, jungler crits whenever the jungler was diving you.
Right.
But with the new Spectral,
But what if you're unlucky?
Like me?
Yeah.
Like, not critting against, like 98%, and then you lose a game off of it?
Yeah, like you.
Yeah,
you were
I
the
don't know
exact
about
person I
that.
was thinking of, actually, when I said that.
Yeah. I feel like you should just get 100% crit. And you guys made an item for 100% crit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that one, too. A little Devoted Deathbringer. Got a little bit of a shadow nerf coming out of PTS that we didn't get a chance to really message because the entire design team was unbelievably sick. But it did lose a little bit of, like, the crit multiplier and the power conversion coming out of PTS. And we have seen, you could call it the propagandists, you could say the ADC players saying, oh, it's not that OP. Feel like, in the early days of Season 11, it was like, oh, crit is so broken, and I'm seeing a lot less of that now. But still probably pretty good, just very, very slow, very heavy investment, which I think, in general, there is a place for very slow, expensive builds that are ultimately more powerful than your other, more streamlined options, but not to say that it isn't very good where it is right now, potentially too good.
Yeah, sorry, I just saw this Kumbha change on his 1 that increases it by 5 damage, and I'm like...
There you go.
Did you guys just...
Go ahead.
Just a funny change. Just
a silly little Kumbhakarna buff. No, it's more about the fly. It's stacking with the flying minion damage.
How often are you hitting a minion on the first wave?
I'd hope a lot.
It's impossible. The support just stands in front of you. Let's see you're not winding up that too, and they're like,
blink. Get there first, fatty.
You can't get there first. Your clear is so bad.
Yeah. Well, that's because you aren't blinking.
It's just funny. I was like reading through the changes. I'm like, Kumbha buff. Nice.
Yeah, we had some other
5 damage.
We had some other Kumbha buffs. I think that we ended up cutting.
Yeah, I think
if you see a weird change like that, that's almost certainly what happened. Is that we had to pull back something that was going to be a little crazier.
Yeah, I feel like Kumbha's a character where you're just like you shouldn't make him in Smite 2. Just throwing that out there.
No, I've got. Let me tell you right now, I've got some Kumbha ideas that are They're really good.
That character should just be deleted, or completely re-kitted. His kit, if it's good, it's just a movement speed or roar or gamma or whatever flying around the map, rooting me, mezzing me, staring at me, waking me up, and then ulting me. I'm not having fun.
I personally think Kumbha has almost certainly been fundamentally broken his whole existence. The things he's good at are so broken, but it requires you have to give up so much But there have certainly been metas where what you were giving up is less valuable than how OP he is at what he's doing.
Yeah, but the thing
people
is
just
that
don't
like
like playing him.
well, people don't like playing him. Plus, there's this character that starts with a Y. I can't remember. It's like it's like Yim.
Mir.
What's that god? No, it's like Yamoja. Yeah,
Weimer.
that god. If you compare Yamoja when she's OP to Kumba at all ever.
Oh yeah, of course. Yamoja's been like the hardest god to nerf out of pro liability ever.
Exactly, and then Kumba, it loses lane pressure, doesn't do anything. Mm-hmm. You have to have Blink to be good, and movement speed items have to be good, and you have to be satisfied with forfeiting your early game.
Have I ever told you that my like IRL friends from Pittsburgh, they like have weird names for like every god in the game, and they like never refer to a god by their actual name, and only these like weird ones, like Weimer instead of Ymir, or like Bueller instead of Uller. Their one for Kumbhakarna is Kumbhakarna, and I think that name is very funny. So yeah, if he was just called Kumbhakarna, maybe more people would like play him.
I thought Kumba's mustache went into his hair this entire time, but yeah, he has a mustache.
Anyways, devoted Deathbringer.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I don't even. What are the stats on that? Read it out to me.
Your critical strike chance is multiplied by 1.3. Actually, that's the old numbers. Okay. I think it's 1.25, and for each 5% critical strike chance you go over 100%, you gain 5 physical power. I believe is the current numbers. Let's see if the wiki agrees with me. Okay. We did a 5x nerf. Yes. That is correct. Yeah, 1.25 multiplier on your crit. And for each 100% you go over, you gain 5 physical power.
You get Hippie and Chets, and you get 16 stacks full build? Is that true?
You used to, I think is what Hippie said.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was like, if you would still get 16 stacks now, so you're getting like
you would still get a lot
power now?
You do get a lot. Yeah. If you buy every crit item and have gilded, then you will have an insane amount of power. But not a whole lot else.
Yeah, no Kins. I assume Spectral is still really good.
Yes.
I think Bobby was saying Horrific's really good right now, and I feel like Horrific is obviously
incredibly good.
What makes Horrific so good?
Well, I believe, God, it's so hard to remember all of the, like, I'm trying to remember all the changes that we did. Again, we would have locked in these changes early December, I think. And I've been doing a lot more Smite 2 stuff, so it my brain is like overloaded.
I got him.
I feel like, oh, look at the boy.
The boy.
What a good boy. So good.
I feel like I haven't put him on the podcast.
I know, he's so big. How close is young Hammy to like full size?
Oh, he's basically full size. His parents were like 16 and 18 pounds, and he's basically there. He might get like a pound or two bigger, but he's basically
so
fully grown.
Cute.
Yeah, we were playing fetch like for like an hour when I got home today.
Yeah, isn't that the best? Coming home from work and then going to play fetch with your dog. That's the best. I love that stuff.
It was actually so fun because he's able to like catch the ball out of the air now. Like sometimes out of the air and sometimes like off the ground.
Yep.
And kind of like watching his brain adapt to like how I'm throwing the ball, and like he's doing like all the like dog trajectory calculations in his head, and like when he catches them, I'm like the proudest dad. I'm like, let's go, Hammy! And then he just like
catch. And he's so pumped. Like
he just starts sprinting back to me, and then I haven't taught him completely like drop the ball yet. I'm still like playing a bit of like tug of war with him, but he's getting better at it. He's getting better.
I'm proud of him. He's doing great. Horrific is basically you don't decrease attack speed anymore, but it has Onk built in now. Onk is no longer a thing. So decrease their movement speed, decrease their damage dealt. That number got nerfed, I believe. It's 10% now. But you also reduce their healing by 40%, shield effectiveness by 50%, and kill 75% of any shield that is currently applied.
Honestly, this seems like a really good change.
Yeah, we did a little relic pass. I think the automatically upgrading relics system is a really big change for the game. That I think pretty drastically impacts the feel in a positive way. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And yeah, I think the relic squish, so to speak, has generally turned out well. Is horrific OP? Almost certainly yes. Is it the worst relic in the game to be OP? Probably not. It has some built-in, counters. Sprint is definitely weaker than horrific, but still good against it. You don't really want Onk to be, the Onk relic to be really bad. I think it's generally better for game health for the anti-heal relic to be good. Again, is it probably too good right now? Yeah, probably. But
Onk was just the worst relic in the game to buy most of the time.
Yeah.
It just, for purchasing strength, you didn't feel a lot of value a lot of times when you bought it. And in competitive, it always felt like a chore to buy. It was like, oh, do you guys think I need Onk this game? Yes. And it's like, okay, what relic do you guys want me to replace with this Onk?
Right.
It felt very forced into buying it a lot of times. And I think having the anti-heal on horrific, where you're kind of hitting both sides of it, I think seems to make a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that change, honestly, because I always hated buying Onk, and it just feels better, I think, this way.
Yeah, let me put it this way. If you would have told me that horrific being really OP is one of the biggest balance complaints for year 11 launch, I would have signed in blood for that immediately. I would have been extremely excited to hear that. This is, again, not trying to say that, we did it and we did it perfectly and all that kind of stuff, but if this is one of the bigger balance concerns, I'm vibing with that. Mm-hmm. So, we'll address it when appropriate. But that's it. Yeah. BaRRa, let's get your thoughts on Devoted Deathbringer so we can get out of here, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to really have thoughts on it. I haven't tested crit because I haven't played ADC. Mm-hmm. When I've been playing against ADC, it doesn't really feel that crazy OP, but I've also bought Spectral basically every time against crit right now. I basically only played support and tanks. So I'll have to do some actual testing with this to give you an actual answer.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it seems good on paper, but it depends on how quickly you can get there in your build, how many stacks you get, whether it's purchasable most games or situationally purchasable, how strong horrific feels and spectral feels. But yeah, I will say I do like the Envenomed Executioner change a lot. I think that's very smart.
I thought you might, because I was gonna say it might not even be the Hunter's best glyph now. I think it's probably Envenomed. Crazy. Yeah, crazy.
It being on Executioner makes it a lot more purchasable as Hunters, because they always had weird anti-heal options.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, if I'm getting anti-heal on Deathbringer, I'm kind of committing to a crit build.
Yep.
But it being on Executioner makes it a lot more sense and a lot more viable. I will say I'll probably still like Dom a bit more than Exy, unless I really need Exy for the anti-heal.
Sure, fair enough.
But I'm just a Dom fanboy.
Yeah, I hear you there. Also a big fan of the Fast and Furious films, for sure. That was the first Dom I thought of. Well, actually, that's not true. It was Pretty Hair's younger brother's name is Dom, and I love that man very much. But I didn't think that joke would really land. just didn't really have the same like mass appeal as Dom from Fast and Furious. I think I've maybe seen one Fast and the Furious movie ever.
Okay.
I just haven't seen them at all.
Last season 11 thing, just delete mannequins. Like, surely just delete this item. Like, what? But bro, just delete it. It's why is it in the game?
You know, I have a lot of potential answers for you about why it's in the game. It's already in there, so we don't necessarily want to remove it unless we have to.
You took out so many things. Just take out that.
That's true.
No one buys it besides bronze players.
It would take me like no time at all to delete it from the game. To be clear, I'm not gonna do it. But
okay, what? Do you have like Smurf Arachne games or something where you just buy mannequins?
No, I think if you looked at my accounts, I don't know the last time. Well, no, the last time I bought mannequins was definitely when I was playing a Neath build where I went the Hidden Blade into one-shot alt build.
Yeah, everyone wants to buy this item and do the one-shot Neath build, and then you get the one-shot and you're like, haha, look what I did.
It's fun, man. It's so fun. I want to queue up a ranked game right now and play that Neath build.
You do get a lot of dopamine when you go that build.
God, it is so fun.
Fine. Don't delete mannequins just for Neath.
Thank you. It's
for every other character.
Just for Neath. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I didn't remind our dear community Discord to put in any random questions of the week. But we did do the frozen pizza taste test. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh, you did? What's your favorite kind of donut? We might have answered this before.
Yeah, we definitely have. I've been eating a lot of donuts recently because Calvin's swim lessons are very close to a Krispy Kreme. And we get a dozen donuts every Sunday, and they are gone by the end of Tuesday every single week, and that is horrifyingly disgusting, and I will not apologize. I love just a classic vanilla icing with sprinkles. That's what I like. You know, I don't like filled donuts. My wife is a staunch like Dunkin' Donuts hater. She does not like their donuts at all. I think she's griefing.
It's definitely worse than Krispy Kreme.
I don't know, man. Like, Krispy Kreme are really good. Don't get me wrong, but like, they're just kind of one-dimensional. You know, they're one-trick ponies. They're one tricks. They can only do the glazed. And don't you think that like lowers their value a little bit? You can get a solid glazed donut at Dunkin' Donuts, or you can get like the vanilla with sprinkles, and it's delicious.
Dude,
cake donuts are not good. Can we say that?
No, yeah, cake donuts are terrible.
Just be cake if you want to be cake. Like, don't give me this in between garbage.
Okay, actually, some cake donuts are really good, but they need to not be like a traditional cake donut where it's just like so dry and it's just heavy. Like eating it like sawdust.
Yeah,
like,
it's heavy.
You need to like rehydrate every bite you take of those. Like, if it's a moist cake donut, those are actually delicious. Because there was a place in Atlanta that has like they have donuts and then they have like vegan donuts too. And we got some blueberry cake donuts, and they were moist and banging. Like they were. It was basically like a thick blueberry like cobbler kind of taste, and then it was moist too. So it was like. I didn't take a bite and I'm like, I need water. Yep. Like it was actually delicious. I heard also, this is off topic, but I heard that Dunkin' Donuts have like bird feathers in their donuts, so they can't. Then that's why they're not vegan. And I was like, is that true?
There's no way that bird feathers are the best ingredient for them for any reason whatsoever.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, there's no way.
Maybe.
And you know what? Okay. Maybe it is true. And I just can't be asked to look into it.
I got it. They contain L-cysteine, a derivative from bird's feathers.
Oh, a derivative? Sure, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you just grind up the bird feathers, I guess, and you put them in your donuts.
Does not bother me even a little bit. I still really want a Dunkin' Donuts donut right now.
Loves that feathered texture.
Yeah. No wonder it's so it's so airy. You know what I mean?
Right.
No wonder it feels like I'm floating.
Don't stop it.
Because I can glide, baby. Give me that glide. Okay. Here's what we did for the frozen pizza rankings. Okay. It
Oh
was
yeah, yeah.
me, Joe, Sam, Mike, and Leah. We tried 7 different frozen pizzas in a blind taste test. Joe was the one who knew which ones were which. She was the one putting them in the oven. Here were the 7 brands: Tombstone, DiGiorno, Home Run Inn, Newman's Own, Red Baron, Screamin' Sicilian, and California Pizza Kitchen. We tried the cheese where we could, but some of them we had to get pepperoni, which wasn't ideal because Sam's a pescatarian, which means he only eats fish. And
nothing else.
So he couldn't try 2 of them because they only had a few of them in pepperoni. Here's what we did. We gave a ranking 1 through 5, 5 being the highest, to their cheese quality, their sauce quality, the crust quality, and overall.
Wait, I have a question. Were you guys
Yeah.
talking in between this, or is this like
Yeah,
you're not talking to each other about the pizzas?
we didn't sequester ourselves. No, we're in my living room, eating them and talking about them. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's what surprised me. Okay, I thought going into this. So, here's something that's worth noting. Most of these pizzas, it seems like pizzas were in 2 categories of price. It was either like $5 to $6 or $10 to $11.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
stupid. Sorry. You keep going.
Screamin' Sicilian was the one that I had the highest expectations for. It was the most expensive pizza. It was like $12. It's got really nice packaging. I really like their packaging. It had by far the lowest overall score in the blind taste test.
It's not great.
We
I
hated
got
it.
baited by the packaging too.
We gave it a
and
1, being the
It
lowest.
was awful.
It was terrible. It wasn't good. I really hope Screamin' Sicilian was not thinking about sponsoring this podcast because that would really suck.
Not
for
anymore.
us.
I don't even
Not
want
anymore.
them.
I mean, honestly, they should just get better. Here's what surprised me, BaRRa. The number 1 overall average rating was a $5 pizza. It was Tombstone. Tombstone actually had our highest rating. And I would not have expected...
so bad.
Bro, that's what I thought going into this. I thought it was
is.
going to be disgusting. I did. It was actually good. I don't think it should be good, right? I had a preconceived notion in my head that it wasn't going to be any good. It was a blind taste test. It was the best on average.
Yeah, I just dislike that pizza so much.
I'm just saying.
Well, no, I don't dislike it, but if it just tastes a certain way, and I'm like, this is just
Look, it's
not
not a great pizza, right? It's still frozen pizza. But for what it is, it got a 4.5 average rating from our group out of 5.
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
What?
Bro,
That's no shot.
I'm telling you.
No way.
I have the data. I literally... Hold on, I'm going to show it.
There's
I wrote this out on my phone, okay? Like,
someone's trolling if they gave Tombstone Pizza a 5. Like, bro.
I'm just saying, we guessed which ones were which. I have very well documented data here on all of this, okay? Tombstone got our highest rating. It didn't get any pure 5s. I will say that. But it got a 4.5 from Sam, a 4.5 from me, a 4 from Joe, a 4.5 from Leah, and a 4 from Mike.
Oh, so it's like 4.3. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes
sure.
you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking someone gave it a 5 and someone gave it a 4.
No one gave
and
it a
you,
5. I don't know if anyone got a pure 5 on overall. Let me do a quick scan. Newman's Own did very well. Sam gave Newman's Own a 5. Sam gave
I've never
Newman's
had
Own
one
a
of their
5.
pizzas.
It was solid. It got a overall of a 4 average. I gave it a 4.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
That's pretty close to Tombstone.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a lot of fun.
Probably like double the
We're
price,
having some people over for the Super Bowl, and I think we're trying to decide if we want to taste test brands of vanilla ice cream, or maybe just default potato chips we were talking about. But that one's gonna be so clear as like which one is which. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of the.
Wait, why don't you do like soda? Do like ginger ale or something. Or
We
like
did
Dr.
do ginger
Pepper.
ale, actually. We did
okay,
Seagram's
okay.
versus Canada Dry, and it was actually split down the middle. Seagram's is much more gingery than Canada Dry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heavily prefer Canada Dry.
There's when we did a third, and the third one was actually the best out of the other two. and it just tasted so much more complex. I don't remember what it was. It was at like a Publix.
Maybe it was Publix
It
brand
was,
ginger ale.
I don't think so. It was like a fancy ginger ale.
Fancy ginger ale. That does sound nice.
Yeah, I might be able to find it and send you.
Yeah, if anyone has any good ideas of things that we should taste test at the Super Bowl that we could do blind, like frozen pizzas, I'm all ears. Something that sounded really fun, but it isn't the right season for it. Wouldn't it be really fun to blind taste test apples, like different types of apples?
That would be fun. There's like thousands, right?
Well, yeah, we can't have that many, but dude, there is a place in Pittsburgh. It's called Sorgel's. It's called Sorgel's Orchard. It's like a farmer's market there. They have a big apple orchard, and I swear they have the god apple genes. Like, their apples just taste different than any other apple I've ever had, and they are unbelievable. Like, they are so good. They make apple cider, and like, I am so excited to have apple cider every time I go home. Their apples like taste so unique. I don't know how to describe it. They're like rich. Like, there's like richness to the apple in a way that I'd never had before. They've got the god apple. That's who I'd choose in the apple blind taste test, guaranteed. I'd be able to pick it out like that, like no doubt in my mind. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Bert said blind taste tested ice cream. I agree. That's what I think we are going to do. There's vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, I would do vanilla and maybe chocolate. That might be too much ice cream.
Yeah, it can't be ass. That's too much. And plus, it's gonna mix. Yeah. Like, we're not gonna have that many bowls. Like, that's gonna be the annoying part. Is that with pizza, we could just have the same plates and just, with ice cream, we're gonna have to like wipe it out every time.
True. Yeah.
That's gonna be annoying.
You just eat it all and then you take it to the sink and then wash it out and then paper towel it.
What about cheese? What about like cheddar cheeses?
Sliced or like shredded or blocks?
We'd get a combination, like there's like the Publix pre-shredded cheese, but then there's like the blocks of like Tillamook and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would do blocks. I think I would do blocks.
But there's not enough blocks. There's like 3 brands of blocks maybe.
There's plenty of blocks.
Do milk chocolate. Oh, that's a good call, Gamma. Milk chocolate could be good. But it's going to be hard to find, like, plain milk chocolate in a lot of different... See, this is what's tough. Like, frozen pizza is perfect for this. It's perfect. I don't know. Hit me up if you have any ideas. That's what I'm going to be doing on Super Bowl Sunday, is blind taste testing a lot of different things.
I'm not going to be watching the Super Bowl.
Because the stupid 49ers and Chiefs are in it. Why couldn't the Lions win, man? Why couldn't the Lions win? That's who I wanted to win. Shout out my boy Timmy. All right, yeah, that's going to do it. This was not a short episode, but Calvin didn't wake up crying as far as I could hear, so I felt like we got to keep going. We'll be back sometime in the future. I don't know if I'm going to keep, like, if we determine that he does need to keep sitting or sleeping in here, then I might be doing the podcast from down in my living room or something like that. I don't really know. But we'll figure it out when we get there. That's not the end of the world. Sorry, I was reading a thing about... Bert, we can't do multiple... It's got to be the same flavor of cheese. That's the point of the blind taste test. You know what I mean? Because at that point, we're looking for brands that we're doing it. That's the way it is. Okay, yeah. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, BaRRa, you know what to do.
Bye!
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like riding a bike at this point.
A little high-pitched, but
No, it's good. It's good, man.
I've done better.
I'm proud of you. You should go to bed feeling accomplished tonight.
I go to bed every night accomplished.
Nice.